Welcome back to TMZ Sports. I am your host, Mojo Muhtadi, and today we are joined by WWE Hall of Famer, the one and only Mark Henry, the strongest man in the world. Mark, how we doing, sir?
Mohadi the Hottie. What's up, man? The only man that can match my energy.
That's right, baby. It's easy when we're talking together, bro. You've been a good friend for years, always looking out for me in my career. So extra hyped to chat with you today. How's everything going? What's going on in the world of Mark Henry right now?
Man, I'm doing well, man. I'm truly blessed. Been number one a lot the last 5 years on Sirius XM with Busted Open. We'll go to 24 hours. We're 7 days a week now. It's been an unbelievable blessing. Now I'll be doing radio on iHeart as well. I'm doing the morning show in Austin, Texas on iHeart 1300 The Zone, Monday through Friday, doing the morning show with doing all sports. So, that's been a true blessing. Golly, what else? Oh man, I started booking and directing for All Caribbean Wrestling, and we're not an independent company. Like we put on classic shows. Like we put on elite level shows internationally. It's a lot of fun. We're gonna do a versus with MLW coming up, and the WWE said they were open for business. If they want to do business with me, I'd love to do something with them too. Any company out there that feels like they want to do a versus one-on-one show with us, like give us a call. Go to allcaribbean.com. And people that want to reach out to me, you can get me at the Mark Henry on social media, or you can go to my website, themarkhenry.com, and try to get on and join the Remarkable brand.
The remarkable brand. I love that. Obviously, everything is cooking for you right now, Mark. You got a lot going for you. Here's one thing you didn't say. You're actually set for a big weekend because this weekend we got Biography, WWE Legends, all about you this Sunday on A&E. I mean, you're a Hall of Famer. We're all very familiar with your career, but this is going to give us a look at it in a way that we've never seen before. What can the fans expect from this show that maybe we don't know about you just yet?
Normally, I would say get your popcorn ready, but I think that you might want to get your Kleenex ready. Where I came from is very poverty stricken. I grew up very poor, and I had a lot of troubles as a youth. And it explains how I became me, the struggles that I went through, and I'm gonna come across, I think, in a good light with people, which is the way that it is. I'm not a bad person. I never lived my life to hurt somebody, or I was a drinker or a smoker or a drug addict or anything. I had a lot of success, but with that success, people want to know how that happened, and now they get to see the progressions and how it got to that point. So once you get over the crying in the beginning, it's gonna be smooth sailing.
Well, I have a lot of questions about that one, Mark, but I'm not going to ask him right now because I certainly don't want to step
You
on
gotta
the.
watch it. You gotta watch it. 7 o'clock Central Time, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard. Like it's gonna be crazy.
That's going to be awesome, Mark. Well, hey, man, I need to take a second here. I got to shift this conversation because I need to stop talking about you. I need to talk about a star that's way bigger than Mark Henry. And the guy I'm talking about right now is your son, Jacob Henry, who is absolutely on fire. I mean, Mark, I remember when I was getting started in WWE, seeing Jacob at all the shows, and he knew everything about everybody. I mean, I had just gotten called up and he knew my whole life story. I mean, just such an intelligent kid at the time, and he's grown up to not just rip up one sport in wrestling, but also football. Big college decision was made fairly recently, and I believe he's at a big tournament this weekend. But what's going on with Jacob? Because then we got to talk about similar paths here for the future.
Yeah. Well, everybody know I'm a UT guy. And my son went to the University of Oklahoma. He went to the evil empire. I must have been a horrible father. But no, man, I've been up there in Norman, getting him enrolled in school for the summer and meeting his coaches and everything. Like, it's been a great experience. They give me a little razzing, I give them a little razzing. And man, they want him to come out for spring football. So, you might get to see him out there on that field too, as a two-sport athlete at Oklahoma. Right now, he's up in Fargo at the national championships. He did really well, 3-2, lost to the number 2 and the number 4 guy in the country. There's no shame in that. One of those guys is on the junior Olympic team. Now he's getting ready for the Greco portion, and I'm hoping that he does it just as well.
Mark, how do you coach and train your son when he's going to be a two-sport D1 athlete? I mean, because look, I played my college football at Maryland, and that was a full-time gig, getting the crap kicked out of me every day. I mean, I couldn't imagine like playing another sport. I mean, if I was a wide receiver and maybe I was running track in the off season, I mean, that's one thing. And I mean, granted, both sports are physical, but wrestling and football are absolutely not the same. I mean, you've been successful at everything you've done, both of those sports, including how do you coach up your son?
But you know what? Like, luckily it's seasonal. And when the season ends, you got to make the commitment to go to the other thing. And the great John Madden said that he wished that all his offense and defensive linemen were competitive wrestlers, because it just gives you an understanding of leverage and balance, endurance and grit. And Jacob has all of those things. He's a tenacious kid, but his true passion is pro wrestling. Like, he's not trying to be the Olympic champion in wrestling. He said, Dad, I don't. If I'm not trying to go to the Pro Bowl or win a Super Bowl. He said, I want to main event WrestleMania, and I want to go to Japan and be champion. And I'm like, bro, like, them hefty goals. But I tell you what, man, if your goals don't scare you, then you playing it safe, and that you're not gonna make it. You gotta have high dreams.
That's absolutely incredible. Yeah, I'm sure he's going to be plugging away, doing his best for both football and wrestling. And when the time comes to switch to pro wrestling, obviously he's going to be ready for that. He probably
You
knows.
gotta hand me that degree first.
Is that the rule, Mark? He can't
That's
go on until he
that's the
he gets his
rule.
degree.
Him and my daughter both. I was like, y'all hand me the degree, I will give you the keys to your inheritance, and you can go do whatever you want to do. But until then, they can't get the money, and they can't go and just randomly, haphazardly do something. I got to get it.
I love that so much. I mean, you're talking about a professional career in the NFL, potentially maybe going to the Olympics for wrestling, WWE around the corner. And the thing that matters most to you is making sure that
JoJo too. Now, don't sleep. I think that Joe is a better athlete than Jacob. Jacob is strong, and his will to do something is and is he's tenacious and driven. Joe, I gotta say, Joe, wake up. I gotta push her. But Jacob, I never had to push him to do nothing. He was always like, Dad, wake up. And I wake up when the sun come up. So he's nuts. but he's like you, that crazy energy. Man, I don't know where y'all got it from, but man, we need to get a super soldier serum made out of what you got.
Yeah. Mark, I love it. I got to ask you one more question before we
Come
let you go.
on.
I mean, obviously, we've talked about the kids a bunch. Is there anyone else in the pro wrestling world right now, some young up and comers that you've been keeping a special eye on that the fans should look out for?
You know what, man? Like I'm mentoring these twins, well, they're not twins, the brothers that work for us at All Caribbean Wrestling, the Kentridge brothers. They're going to be really good, man. They remind me of the Hardys down in the islands. It's just beautiful, man. They 19 and 20 years old. They got a long future ahead of them. By the time I get done with them, they're gonna be the best tag team in the world.
Well, Mark, we're gonna timestamp this conversation right here. So in the next 5 years or so, you can tell everybody I told you
I
so.
told you so. I ain't been wrong yet.
Can't miss, baby.
I'm batting 1,000.
Well, Mark, thank you so much. I know you got a million things to do today. Thanks for stopping by on TMZ Sports. We love you, brother, and we'll see you soon.
Hey man, I appreciate you, man. You tell Babcock the next time that we do this, his ass better be on here, or I'm gonna find him, and it ain't gonna be pretty.